Hello and welcome. So, let's get right into it. It says Avery dives from a platform. He reaches a maximum height of 7 meters after 0.25 seconds, so quarter of a second. How long does it take him to reach the water if the height is given by the equation h of t equals negative 4.3 parentheses t minus 0.25 squared plus 7? Okay, let's break this down. So we're essentially finding the how long does it take him to reach the water? Okay, and height is given by the equation that. Okay, how long is going to be standing for t, time? We're essentially going to find out t equals what is going to be our end goal. Well, we have two variables inside of the equation right now. We have the t for time, and we have this h of t. Now, we're told that the h is standing for height, so this is your height at any time t. Now, do we know what t is? No, but we do know what height we want. Okay, this equation is essentially modeling, so let's kind of draw a picture so I can make this a little more obvious. So he's some height off of the ground, right? Ground level, supposedly where the water is. He's going to dive off the platform, and then he's going to essentially, when he hit this point, we're going to find where he hits the water. Okay? That's more or less what our graph is going to look like for this particular function. So I'd say, okay, well, now let's solve for it. If we're looking for this point where he hits the water, your height is your y values, your time is the x values. So you're finding where height equals 0. That is what you're going to be doing for this problem, right? We want to find out when he hits the water. Water is going to be height of 0, and we need to figure out the time for that. So plug in 0 for the h of t, for your height. And then we get negative 4.3 t minus 0.25 quantity squared plus 7. Okay, now we would just solve. Your goal is to solve for t. It's currently in a set of parentheses, so get the parentheses alone. So I would subtract by 7. So we have negative 7 equals negative 4.3 t minus 0.25 squared. Right? Divide by the negative 4.3. Okay, and then those will simplify with each other. And then from there, now you have negative 7 over negative 4.3 equals, and then t minus 0.25 quantity squared. Now to undo the square, we do what we call a square root, and we do it to both sides. And as soon as we do, we have something called plus and minus. That means you just have two kinds of solutions, one positive, one negative. Now keep in mind though, is that for our particular answer, the negative's not going to make any sense, right? It likely won't. We'll keep it there for now. When we put it in the calculator, we'll find out what happens. Okay, so now we have plus or minus square root. Negative over negative is a positive, so I'm just going to write 7 over 4.3 equals t minus 0.25. Last but not least, t goes alone by adding the 0.25 to both sides. Okay, those are gone, and then t equals this thing. Well, time to find out what that thing is supposed to be. So I'd turn to my trusty handy-dandy calculator. I'd say, okay, 0.25 minus, plus and minus. We'll start with a plus. The square root of 7 over 4.3. Oops. Okay, and when we do, we get 1.52589, so on and so forth. If we use the minus, you'll notice that your answer becomes negative. If we're searching for how long something is, does it make sense to have a negative time? No. Which means you'll only be using the plus for this equation, and then let's see, how's the answer? Looks like it goes out 3 decimal places. So we look here, we have 1.5258. The 8 will round up, which means we have 1.526 would be our time. So t approximately equal 1.526. And as we can see, that is our second answer choice right here. And there you go, you would be done. Thanks for watching.